Okay guys, I'm here today with Jason Henderson, huge honor for me. Guys, Jason is a black belt from Gustavo Machado, black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and black belt in Judo from Dave Camarillo, and he spent 30 years in the Navy SEAL. So he did an instructional video all about self-defense, and I watched the instruction. It's one of the most well-done instructions that we have ever done for self-defense. And it's not every day that you find a person who is black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Judo, and spent 30 years in the Navy SEAL. So can you explain a little more about the instructional?
Sure. Yeah, thank you for having me. I retired from the SEALs in 2020, and at the times there was riots going on all over the US, and I was looking like, why is this happening? And all of them were complaining about over excessive force used by police. So I go, okay, well, you can't just complain about things, you have to go do something about it. So I go, okay, I'm gonna train law enforcement. I have a couple black belts. I have extensive knowledge on the battlefield and controlling and de-escalating situations, you know? So when I started doing it, I started going out and training cops, and then they said, well, we don't have enough money to do it. So then I created my nonprofit, Four Pillars Collective, which then we took donated money and went and trained law enforcement in defunded cities. But then a lot of the departments were saying, well, we don't want Navy SEALs, these combat veterans, coming in and training law enforcement because it gives a bad image of, you know, we're weaponizing somehow the police force. But at the same time, the police are like, we really want this knowledge and we want to get better. And so that's why I kind of came out to you guys and you said, yeah, we'd be willing to film these videos. But one of the things that I found out was, it's not just for law enforcement or special operations guys. It's just de-escalating any kind of situation and controlling people without trying to hurt them. And so it's great for EMTs who are handling people who are drug addicted on the streets, security at hospitals and universities. You know, we don't want to hurt the students or the patients. We want to have better control. Or even, you know, that drunk relative at a holiday party that is acting up too much, talking too much politics. And we're like, hey, can you get away from the table so we can talk to you about the situation? So that's why I really want to do this video, is just how to use effective martial arts without hurting the people that you're trying to control.
No, and I think it's a great subject because, for example, I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but I don't know how to fight politely. You know? If I had to fight with someone, I would double leg the person.
Sure.
And so I've learned the proper technique of how to. I think that's a very interesting subject. You know, like that. And this is something that everybody can do. Like even if they never did martial arts before, they can still learn the moves and practice the kind of
you can use these videos, you can take it back to your home or departments or whatever, you can practice it with your family members or a dummy or whatever. And at the same time, you know, when you're if you own a school, if you own a Jiu-Jitsu academy, you can hybrid, if you're just even a sport academy, you can hybrid some of these techniques in, because you're going to have some law enforcement or some EMTs or whatever that are your students.
Yeah. No, and Jason, another thing that was very interesting that you told me like 10 minutes ago is that the way you figured out you had to learn this was like in one time you were being a little violent.
That's right.
And then you realized that you need more techniques. And so I wonder like how many cops and police here in this country, they use like strength and violence while they could be using techniques, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a big complaint of everybody's excessive force, right? And it shows that you're not being professional. It shows that you're not taking a little extra time to be prepared and train on your own. You'd be surprised. A lot of departments do train, and a lot of my students that I work with are law enforcement. They're there every day putting in work and then going out on the streets and doing it. Right. And the thing that everybody has to keep in mind is if you get into any kind of altercation with somebody, it's being filmed. And what are you going to look like on that film? Because it's there for eternity. And do you look like, were you able to control your emotions? Did you overreact? Did you use too much force? Were you not calm? Because then people start losing trust in you. Yeah,
no, that's a good point. Because nowadays with the phone, literally everywhere we are, and also like security cameras, blah blah blah.
Yes, sir.
And I checked your instruction, and there were videos even about like how to grab the person out of the car.
Yeah,
that was very interesting. Because I think I would expect that a lot of like fights might happen in the traffic.
Sure.
Right. Like so this was one subject that you covered as well.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest questions that was coming from different law enforcement departments is how do we pull people out of cars from the passenger side, from the driver's side, from the back seat? And how do we do it effectively? What's our angle and stuff? So we really analyzed it and we just drilled the heck out of it. Me and a bunch of guys gave every possible scenario, grabbing for guns, grabbing for this, using seatbelts, things like that. And we've come up with a pretty good solution that has been tested in real time regularly by law enforcement that I train. So it's really been effective.
No, man, that's awesome. Yeah, so guys, Jason's instructions are going to come out very soon, and it's going to be at bjjfanatics.com and effectiveselfdefense.com. So make sure to check it out. It's not every day that you find a person that's a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Judo black belt, and spent 30 years on the Navy SEAL. So you're literally learning from the best of the best. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.